Hello, people of YouTube. It's Brittany and her goddess here on the tube and elsewhere. I sit here and I'm just like, woo. Yeah, I hit a couple no views back there, and that causes me personally to sit and evaluate for a second. Like, am I just talking for me? Would that be enough? Would could I be happy with that? Or am I really talking for other folks? People say they're talking for other folks. But what if if the other folks don't like it and you keep throwing, is it still for other folks? But then for people that might not make content, they do send you a little report of activity on your channel summed up, and I'm like, okay, that's a lot of listening hours. I'm like, did I talk that much? Did I do that? Okay, listening to me prattle that many hours is not nothing. That ain't nobody. So I'm like, I can power through some no views. You ain't gotta like everything I do. That's okay. You ain't gotta listen to me all the time, every time. That's okay. Um, I I am faced with the contemplation of the ego of God. And how there are some that are committed to a perspective of a a God that includes most everyone and doesn't have moods or changing perspectives. And I'd say that the reason why the vibe feels like that's correct and incorrect is because of different views of what God is. If we're talking about the force, the energy, the all that we're coming from, then yes, that includes everybody, everything. But if we're talking about personified God, that's why different cultures have different gods, deified individuals. Um, I I would say that sometimes something is translated a little wrong across cultures. What I mean is what Western Christians would say in African religion, like, oh, they're worshiping different gods. The equivalent would be like angels or saints. More on the angels end. because those that have been deified um, wouldn't necessarily say or even pretend to be masters of everything. They have their lanes. Each individual has their lane. And for Hindu religion, it's considered a deification. But these are different energies, beings that are powerful, have abilities, have lived, been people, experience limitations, but are considered supernatural because of what they can do, what they understood, what they lived through. And I hate to even say it because the interpretation of Christianity, there's a lot of blind following, but there are some that know what they're talking about, that are able to pick through scripture, that will find them some books, find them the facts, and are pursuant of the original purpose behind what grew into religion. So I'll take one. I am strong in saying that I speak within the realm of personification. I work with the Force, which is equivalent to saying you work with the elements, you work with nature, you move with what you are presented with. But when I'm talking, this is not a ethereal idea, but person. Like, I think that we should be at the point where we say person. People have a very hard time now. I'm like, this is in present age, with people being of the heavens. There was a time when that was accepted and understood, and it really, the way that I'm feeling right now, as I'm feeling into this vibe, it doesn't feel like that long ago. I understand the years I understand. Like I could read the stuff, like I could watch the videos and hear the people talking. I'm like, I understand that it said that it was a long time ago, but it doesn't feel like that long ago. And some people still do acknowledge that they're considered into mythology or crazed or whatever, or sometimes they keep it to themselves when they believe in people that are not quite the same as what is considered mainstream humanity. But people can look similar or look different and still be of the category of like being able to talk to any other person, having similar needs and similar motivations, but different abilities and different understanding. The the hierarchy does come from times of leadership, yes. And that's something that people have a hard time, some people, not all people, but some people have a hard time with. Like, no, we want to be equal all through the cosmos. Well, you can say that, but it's still sort of, but not really. Meaning, if something's going down and somebody is stronger than you, or able to fight for you, or able to see better, is stronger, able to do some different things than you do want their help. You don't want them to suddenly be like, you know what, I'm afraid too. I got other things to do. I don't want to take no wounding. So you're on your own. No, you want the help. So that's not necessarily equal. You want help, you want supervision, but you also kind of want to be in the know. Like don't blow my mind too hard where I'm just confused and disoriented. Like you would gently. That's what's happening. Gentle mind blowing. So that means process some at a time, but some, even intermittently, is a blasting to the human psyche. You can read the text, but to accept what is being said, which is that eventually humanity has been intended to accept responsibility for itself. Eventually. That means one day, grow up. One day, tend to yourself and do the things that you ask for assistance with. And take responsibility for the consequences of decisions made. Also said that once you are aware, you won't be able to harm yourself because it doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to run fast, you're not going to cut your leg off. F that leg. No, you're just going to freaking run and use what you have. Everything come together now. Say, I don't like that lung on the left side. No, you're going to use everything you got. Working with what you have and seeing it as tools, parts, is a higher understanding. People are like, I'm a person. Yeah, but also you're a part of the whole. You're a part of humanity. So don't think that you can do all the things. Do what you're supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do because you feel compelled, because you have talent and ability in it. And that's it. It's just like you gotta work with it, what you got. You're able to do it. You can do it well when you work at it. And you feel like it. Something just makes you feel like it. Even when you don't feel like it, you feel like it. I don't want to do it, but I should do it. Or I really, really want to do it. People don't want me to do it. Yeah, you gotta figure stuff out and respond to the happenstance. The fishies understand that the water is the best place for them to be. They can try to struggle on land. Some fish can hop across the land a little bit. You see, when you ever catch a fish and you're like real close to the water and you think you could sit that fish on the ground for a second, that fish knows where the water is. And if it's got some strength, which usually if they're right out of the water, they still got some strength, they're going to flip-flop themselves right back into the water. Because that's where they should be. They don't think they can out-hop you on the ground. Like, if I stay on this ground, that human's going to eat me. I'm going to be lunch. Let me flop myself back in the water real quick. I've heard stories about what happens to the fishies that get on land. So they know. Um, it's a human trait to be like, you know what? I'm going to go to go into conditions that challenge me, where the forces say that I shouldn't be there. Extreme temperatures, extreme lack of resources. I'm going to challenge myself to survive. Where it is said that humans cannot. But you notice how that tends to happen with like one or few humans at a time. After one or a few have gone ahead and established the situation, that's when others will go. Like, oh, okay. I already built a town, so clearly people can survive. All right. But if the folks go on an expedition and never return, folks like, I don't know if we should go in that direction. I'm really not too sure. Folks get nervous. But anyway, it's not quite true to say that humans are like parasites, or that they are a blight, that they are inherently negative, that it is a bad thing to be human. It is a bad thing to go with human urges. You are not here to ignore your body, or you wouldn't have one in the first place. But your body is tool. You are not your body. Your body is tool. Work with the body. Don't try to hurt it. Try to be nice to it, even through extreme circumstances. Be as nice to it as possible, but understand that it was built to withstand some things. It was made to withstand some things. But be mindful of your personal body, not just all of humanity. Like, that person ran 500 miles, so certainly I could run 500 miles. Well, you could if you did all the things that person did, and maybe, but but do you even feel the urge, or do you just want to compete? You might be intended to compete in a different arena, not for the most miles ran, but something else with your human body. Where are you competitive with your body? What do you do that has beat some people? Competition, comparativeness is a human proclivity. People try to avoid that. Like, I don't like it. Everyone's equal. Stop that. You don't believe that. You believe some people are inferior because they don't feel equal. Look at them thinking they're better than everyone. They're actually worse than everyone. Well, look at you. Did you win the integrity battle? You're better than those people that think they're better than everyone. He's still doing it. So, that is not even meant to be escaped. It keeps the evolution going. Humans will improve so long as they want to improve. That's what is some just want to go elsewhere. It's like, you know what? I think that humanity could thrive elsewhere. Some of us should go somewhere else. Okay. That's not new thought. That's how there's humans here. That urge for exploration, to go somewhere else, that inclination that maybe one could thrive a little better in another environment. Go with one's urges. If you're interested, pour energy in that direction. If uninterested, then don't. There's plenty of time, and from where I'm sitting, none of us that are among the physically existing in these present bodies is going to be here to in this present incarnation to witness a destruction of this planet. Now that sounds vague as heck, because it's just like, oh well, will it just be dead or something? Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm saying don't worry about it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's room for each individual's interest in exploration, whether that's personal or space, getting off the planet. If that's going underground, you're interested in what's underneath the ground, the dirt. If you are interested in what's under the surface of the water, what is within water. If you're interested in the ethereal, what is in the air? What is in what we perceive as empty air? You're like, I know there's more than just air. Whatever your proclivity is, there's room. You want to delve into the psyche of humanity. I want to know what's in the brain matter. There's room. There is time for all that exploration within the scope of what people consider to be them, you. Because let's be honest, that's what people are concerned about. not the concept of you that doesn't even resonate or like wouldn't resonate with who you are right now. Example, the 5,000 years into the future, you wouldn't even call you today you anymore. You'd now be calling yourself something else and say that you at present are an ancestor. I mean, it's you. But you can only commit so much consciousness to caring about yourself far into the future. You hope you survive, and that's about it. It's just like, I do want to come back or still exist or have a life. That would be great. But it's very difficult to conceptualize what would be necessary. What kind of quote unquote air will you breathe, or what kind of food or nourishment you'll consume, who you'll interact with, what will you do for fun, what will you consider a responsibility. That's a lot to think about. So yes, when you look backwards at ancient folks, and it seems like, oh, they seem, some people say they seem simple, some people say they seem very advanced. Across cultures, you notice everybody wanted survival. Someone to still live. That's what they wanted. Whether themselves or their culture, their stories, their concept of themselves across the board, survival. So let us not forget that that is the purpose. A religion is built around survival, belief in survival, and trying to figure out what is necessary to do so. And holding on to the awareness that you are not your body, that you are more than what you see, that you can aspire to be greater or have more ability, more choices, more freedom. We are living in more freedom than has ever been, even with our limitations. Around the world, everybody's limitations in regards to gender and finances and like social structure and physical ability and mental health or capacity, all, with any manner of limitation, still more freedom than ever before. With all the monitoring going on, all that observation, collectively, more freedom. And as always, there's always been folks that push the boundaries and try to explore beyond the parameters, and people that stay within them. People that stay within them because they are afraid, and people that will try to kick on anybody that tries to crawl out of the limitation. Oh, don't go out there. It'll be bad. I'm going to bust you up if you try to see what's beyond these limits. So first you got to fight against the people that try to keep you within the limits. Then have to deal with whatever is beyond. Tough stuff. But again, I'm saying whatever your proclivities are, work with them. I'm still surprised when I stumble upon a quote unquote ghost hunting show, paranormal investigating show. And folks say, is anybody here? When first of all, you've been told that there's somebody that tends to hang out there. Secondly, you expect someone to be there. Then thirdly, they give you signs that they're there, and then you still talk as if they're not in the room with you. What? They said yes. They said their name. And now you're still talking about them like they're not in the room. How long do you expect somebody to linger in that? What response does one expect? That's unusual. And if we can understand very simply that when someone else is blindfolded, that doesn't make you not able to see. Or someone has earplugs in, that doesn't mean that affects your hearing. Why is it difficult to accept being looked at by whom you can't see? It's like, there's no way that someone could see better than me. Like, I can see everything that is. You know that's not true. How many people you lose your keys? You lose the glasses that are on your face. But you think you see everything that is. When you look at sand and you just see one color, like sand is sand. That's all sand is, unless you see, like, I don't know, some big shells or wood sitting on the beach. But every granule of sand You're considered an unusual human if you sit there and look at the sand. But you know what sand is? When you think about sand, it's bones. I'm just like, think about these things. There's been a lot of life on Earth, a lot of living. We're doing a lot of recycling here. You're going out to get some fresh air. The fresh air that everyone's breathed? That same air? You want some fresh water. That water that's never been someone else's pee? Yes, it has. Someone's dead body has been in that water. But is it now not fresh? Like, well, it's gone through the process where it should no longer make you sick. But that's a sidebar. a little bit of meandering there. Human beings have difficulty with consciousness recycling. That is the big issue. I don't never want to dissolve your personality into the sea, into the dirt, into quote unquote nothingness where you don't exist anymore. Like, oh no, I always want to be a something separate as me. Well, you will be. That sand, no matter how ground up it is, no matter how fine the sand is still individual parts. You are still sand now. You feel separate. You take up more space than sand. But in the cosmos, in infinitude, your consciousness is but granule. Some granules larger than others. Some granules stand out maybe a little more than others. But if you care, if it matters to you, then you can look at the sand and know that there are individual parts. If you don't, then it's just beach. People freaking out about being beach. Well, you can't avoid that. You cannot. But it's not of high priority. Because generally speaking, you're gonna stand out somewhere. Like, even if you feel yourself to be invisible, like if you go stand in traffic, whatever, there's cars that are going to try to avoid you. They see you. Generally, I don't recommend standing in the middle of traffic. Don't do that. Don't obstruct traffic. Don't challenge people to hit you or to avoid hitting you. But I'm saying that, You are visible, and sometimes that's something that in paranormal situations people are grappling with, like, don't I matter? Like, I see you, I'm still here. And as the people with physical bodies in this space and time are just like, no, you don't exist, you're not here. They're like, yes, I am. Watch me throw these dishes. They're like, oh my God, something just threw them dishes. Something. A thing just threw the dishes. Oh my God. So everybody's not friendly. Everybody's not patient. Uh, we have a preference. We have a preference for patience and kindness. When you are nice, when you are patient, when you are consistent, when you are predictable, you get sainted. People can ask you something and you answer agreeably without causing too much ruckus in their lives. Or the ruckus always turns out good, where they're just like, you know what, I can trust and believe that if there's a ruckus and a fracas in my life, it's for good. You get sainted. You get deified. So, I have some honorable family members, considered ancestors now, that are aware, they didn't forget that in their personification here, some people could judge their personal considered failings, or whatever, their challenges, their limitations, their choices. But nobody, even the most spiritually famous, nobody does everything that everybody would agree with. There are human things from human experience that people would judge, and some things get passed on in story, and some things people don't carry on. Only some people know about you, and some people will continue the story. Something's gonna drop off as time goes on. Enough time passes, people won't know anymore. The job of the storytellers is to preserve the essence of the story, the important parts. Yes, it's our judgment, personally, what is very important of the story and what is not. But that's how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. So, all that said, uh, I do appreciate your time here spent with me. I pray that we all move in awareness that we are laying the groundwork. We're laying footprints, leaving a trail for future us, without being too heavy about it. There is room for play. Don't have to be so serious. Just do what you're led to do. Do what you're supposed to do. All right. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate ya. I am sending lots of love your way. Many blessings on the journey, and I'll see you in the next one.